Let's see today insane upcoming third-person story games coming out in 2025 and 2026. I really hope you guys enjoy it. Click in the like and subscribe for more content. Thank you and let's go.
I don't remember when it happened, but I remember how I felt.
Hell is Us is a third-person action game with some RPG mechanics, all set in a semi-open world, and the game is being developed by the studio Rogue Factor.
Mother said I couldn't play outside anymore. Mother always said monsters didn't exist. I thought they lived under my bed. We were both wrong.
Explore this dark, mysterious, and dangerous place seeking answers for your questions, all with a fast and dynamic melee combat, fighting against strange sorts of creatures with unique visuals. That's the type of game that I really get excited about, but to see if it's as good as it looks, we'll need to wait until September 4, 2025, and the game is coming out to PS5, Xbox Series X and S, and PC. Intergalactic: The Heretic Prophet is the new game of the famous and beloved studio Naughty Dog, the studio responsible for the first Crash Bandicoot games, Uncharted series, and The Last of Us, some extremely good video games, but this one is a whole new adventure. The game was announced not so much time ago, so we still don't know much about it, but it's set in a futuristic universe, with travels across planets and galaxy. The gameplay wasn't revealed yet, but the graphics looks extremely good. The game is coming out only on PlayStation 5, and this is a game that many people didn't like of the first trailer, but we still need to see more of it. Crimson Desert is a new massive open-world RPG. The game is being developed by Pearl Abyss Studio, from the same creators of the MMO Black Desert. As you can see, the game is going to be a huge open-world game, filled with a lot of different mechanics. Mechanics that we see in other games too, but looks insane in this one.
To nothingness. We seek to correct it.
For those who enjoy games like Assassin's Creed, The Witcher, or even Zelda, I think you are going to enjoy this one, and it's coming out to PS5, Xbox Series XS, and PC in 2025.
You have died. For those who have survived, and for those who will live on, this is our mission.
Explosion.
Split Fiction is the new game developed by the same studio of It Takes Two that got the Game of the Year, by the way, the studio Hazelight Studios. And it's going to be set in the same style of these other games too. You won't be able to play alone, what's bad for some people, but is extremely fun to play with a friend.
You play as Mio and Zoe, same simulation.
What are you doing in my story? Something bad is going on here.
And there, they find out that their stories are about to get stolen.
No one escapes my simulation.
The game now will be set in a magical and mystical world, set in a lot of different places and times, with a lot of features, what looks extremely fun. And the best, the game got a release date already, March 6th, and is coming out to Xbox Series X and S, PS5 and PC.
And a fantasy world. You start out by finding dragon eggs that hatch.
Hey! Stop licking.
And then, they become a little bit bigger dragons with new abilities.
他就不会忘。那就再唱下去吧。 到底是人活进了戏里，还为何执意要起兵戈之祸？
Project the Perceiver is a new action RPG developed by a Chinese studio, Paper Games. The game is extremely beautiful, with insane graphics and impressive scenarios. It's planned to be released in 2025 or 2026, and will be released on PlayStation 5 and Windows. The game will be set in a big and immersive universe, which will be an open world. The combat of the game kinda resembles Sekiro, but with its own style. The combat is fast and fluid, with a special care for the animations of the protagonist and of the enemies too, especially the bosses. What even resembles Souls-like games, of so fluid it looks.
粮还是糖，这两个字重要吗？大唐福泽万年，逆贼杀戮无道，如何相提并论？
The Blood of the Dawnwalker is the new game by the director of The Witcher 3. Yes, he left CD Projekt Red and is now creating a whole new game. The studio is Rebel Wolves SP, and they promises to release the AA game with the quality of a AAA. If you don't know, that's about how much money will be used in the development, so I'm curious to see it. The game will be set in a dark and immersive open world filled with vampires, and in some moment, the protagonist will be also a half-vampire, what makes it even more interesting. The gameplay will be fluid and with a lot of possibilities, and like The Witcher, you choose the destiny of the world by your decisions, what is always interesting when you want to replay the game. And it's coming out to PlayStation 5, Xbox Series X and Series S, and Microsoft Windows, with no release date yet.
Dearest daughter, I've watched ye grow from a devilishly curious child into a remarkably young lass with much of the spirit to overcome adversities aplenty. Darling, sweeten. Forgive me, daughter. 'Twere my only choice.
I shall be the bringer of salvation.
The Witcher 4 is finally the new adventure of this beloved series. The game is being developed by the studio CD Projekt Red, just like the other games of the series, and is coming out probably in 2026 or later to Xbox Series X and S, PlayStation 5, and Windows. The series is known for being an extremely immersive and massive RPG series, with hours and hours of content with a lot of quality. This new experience will be set after The Witcher 3, but the difference here is that the protagonist won't be Geralt anymore, but Ciri, an important character of the third game.
Run! To shelter! To your father! Run!
You never know you are a monster.
Wuchang Fallen Feathers is a new Souls-like game with impressive scenarios and graphics, and the game is being developed by a studio called MindsEye. For the people who likes action RPG, we'll be looking forward to this new one. The game is set in the land of Shu during the dark and tumultuous late Ming dynasty, with humans fighting for power and insane creatures.
You. The first signs are really subtle. But over time, it becomes clear. The gift changes you, slowly consuming every little part of your humanity.
Looks really good, and it's coming out to Xbox Series X and S, PS5 and PC, in some moment of 2025. Assassin's Creed Shadows is the first game of the series that will be set in Japan. We'll be able to explore the areas in two different ways, or better, with two different characters, Naoi and Yasuke, which one of them with different mechanics and possibilities, which will make the gameplay of each one really unique, and the game is being developed by Ubisoft.
You are still a frog in a well.
This is going to be a RPG Assassin's Creed, in the style of the last one, with a lot of possibilities, weapons, quests and side quests, so it'll be massive, and the game is coming out in March 20th, 2025, to Xbox Series X and S, PS5, and PC.
Vengeance.
No one knows how that world came into being. It devoured everything from
Tides of Annihilation is a
Only
new
I
hack and
was
slash
left.
game coming out probably in 2026. The game features an absurd of beautiful visual and graphics, and for the ones that likes fast action adventure game, this one looks sick, with a
was a
fast and
fateful
fluid gameplay,
mistake.
and a combat that makes me want to play it already, so I'm really excited about this one.
Sit. As long as it is reforged, my wish can be fulfilled.
The game is being developed by the studio Eclipse Glow Games, and is simply one of the games when I want to play already. It kinda resembles Final Fantasy 15 in some aspects of gameplay, what's really good for me. And if you want to play it too, know that it's coming out to Xbox Series X and S, PlayStation 5 and PC, with no release date yet, probably 2026.
This is your final warning.
Ninja Gaiden 4 is the returning of an old and acclaimed hack and slash series. The new game is being developed by the studios Platinum Games Incorporated, Team Ninja, and KY Tecmo Games, and promises to be the great returning of the series. That also received a version black to Ninja Gaiden 2 in the same day it was announced, and also has a 2D new game announced that looks really fun.
Ninja. However, the Dark Dragon's husk remained, and from this husk fell an endless downpour of cursed rain. The abandoned Tokyo.
In the new game we'll play as Ryu Hayabusa, but also a new character, with technological gadgets and a whole new style of gameplay, so I must say that it really got my attention. And it's coming out to Xbox Series X and S, PS5 and PC, still in 2025.
Whatever your clan is plotting, it ends.
Gears of War Yotei is finally the new adventure of the iconic Xbox series. And for the old fans of the series, once again we'll play as Marcus Phoenix, the great protagonist of the 3 first video games. The game is being developed by the Coalition, and it's coming out in 2025 to Xbox Series X and S, and Windows. And I would not doubt of a PlayStation 5 version. The series is specially known for being an original and brutal third-person shooter series, with great characters and an insane combat system. And for the fans, as you can see in the name of the game, we'll finally be able to play in Yotei, a moment that's always been spoken through the games. Ghost of Yotei is the sequel of the acclaimed game Ghost of Tsushima, and now we're going to play an adventure set over 300 years later. The game is being developed by Sucker Punch Productions, and the players will explore the lands and the surroundings of Yotei, and we'll see different types of environments through the game, since overgrown areas to cold and snowy places, all that set in the year 1603, with amazing graphics and a huge open world to explore. The first game was really beautiful, so I believe this one will be even more, but to see it we'll need to wait until some moment of 2025, and it's coming out for PlayStation 5.
Because I was going to make a sandwich. Okay. Let's do it.
You know all about heroes, do you? Well, you have come to the right place. Because who better to tell you all about them than perhaps the greatest?
Fable is the returning of the famous RPG series from Xbox Games. The new game will be a sort of reboot, but with the same style and personality it seems, and it's being developed by Playground Games. Fable 2025 is going to be set in a fantasy world filled with different creatures from fairy tales, set in a third-person camera, with different gameplay styles. It's a game that your choices changes the events and story of the game, like the classic games. If you played the original Fable games, I think you are at least curious about this one, so know that it's coming out in some moment of 2025 to Xbox Series X and S, and Windows. PS5 may be confirmed in the future.
Conquer the vegetable. Not a euphemism. Let's face it, the age of heroes is over. This is the age of innovation. This, if you will, is the age of death.
I knew this one hero. I took her in when she had nowhere else to go. Welcome to the most exclusive club in all of Albion. Thought I'd get her out there. Make the most of her gift.
Do you mean we're the only ones left?
Clair Obscur Expedition 33 is a new turn-based RPG with real-time mechanics and realistic graphics, and is being developed by Sandfall Interactive. Lead the members of Expedition 33 on their quest to destroy the Paintress, so that she can never paint death again. The game features impressive visuals, since the enemies, visual effects, and mainly the scenarios, all that looks really good. This is easily one of the most beautiful turn-based RPG I've ever seen, and it looks really promising in my opinion, so I'm looking forward to play it. It'll be released in April 24th, 2025, and it's coming out to PlayStation 5, Xbox Series X and S, and Microsoft Windows.
To what do we owe the pleasure of your company? I just need a foot. Aha!
You can turn into a Levron.
Cronos: The New Dawn is a new survival horror developed by the studio Bloober Team. If you don't know, it's the studio that developed the remake of the beloved Silent Hill 2, and they did a great job there. So I'm curious to see the final version of the game. Some things that are extremely important in a survival horror game are visuals of enemies and environments, gameplay, immersion, a good combat, in case the game got a combat system, and a good story. And this game seems to have all of these things. Of course we'll need to see it for real to really know how it's going to be, but it looks good in the trailer. And the story will be immersive and with time travel features, what's always complex to do, so I'm curious. And it's coming out in 2025 to Xbox Series XS, PS5, and Windows.
Welcome to Drawbridge.
Death Stranding 2 is the sequel of the first Death Stranding, a very original game by the way. The game is obviously being developed by Kojima Studios, so prepare for a crazy and immersive story. The core of the game will be almost the same for what we know, but we'll obviously see some new features. After connecting everyone in the first game, we'll see the consequences of this deed in this game, and also explore a whole new area as we deliver and connect other people.
But I'm afraid Death Stranding is far from over. Humanity is still in danger. Still on the brink of extinction. Anyway, the DHV Magellan's here to
The first game was once an exclusive of PS4, but today we can also play on Xbox Series or PC, as it's now a Kojima's game, and not Sony's anymore. Death Stranding 2 is coming in 2025, but still with no release date. It was announced as a PS5 exclusive, and will probably be, at least for the first year.
To move around. Bots are capable.
Lies of P Overture is a DLC to the game Lies of P. That's an excellent Souls-like game set in a dark version of the universe of Pinocchio. The original game features a good gameplay and insane boss fights. So if you like Souls-like games, you should play it. And the DLC will bring a new part to the story, with new stages, new weapons, new enemies, and of course, new bosses.
I'm a friend. Help me to hold your hand and dance.
You're not the puppet I was expecting. Who are you?
The game is being developed by the studio Neowiz, a studio that delivered an insane game with the original Lies of P, so I'm really curious to see this DLC. And it's coming out to Xbox One, Xbox Series X and S, PS4, PS5, Windows and Mac in summer of 2025.
I'll do whatever it takes. Your survival is all that matters. Nothing else comes close, not even my life. I swear I won't be late.
An ambush. Do what you can. Do not lose her. Tires are out. Proceeding on foot.
MindsEye is a new story game developed by an old Rockstar Games president, Leslie Benzies, so the hype about this game is real, especially cause we can see some features and stuff that remind us of GTA series, like the camera, gameplay, driving and shooting, and more. The studio developed and is Build a Rocket Boy, and it's coming out to Xbox Series X and S, PlayStation 5, and Windows, and maybe we'll see it still in 2025. The game will be set in a futurist version of America, with nice graphics, a good gameplay, and a story that seems to be interesting, so I'm really looking forward to see more and play this game.
Remember this. DS! Showtime! I have these gaps. That's just leftover hardware. It's been decommissioned. What the hell is happening? All I know is that Silvercorp is a piece of my story. Wait for me! I'll cover you. All this time you just wanted answers about the tech in your head? Are you kidding? Tear it open!
Last Sentinel is an upcoming narrative-focused open-world action game, set in a distant future in a different version of Tokyo. And the most interesting thing here is that this game is being made by a veteran Rockstar Games director. It's being developed by the studio Lightspeed Studios, and it was announced in 2023. But so far we didn't see much more about the game, except the trailer that looks really interesting, but doesn't represent the real gameplay of the game. If you enjoy sci-fi games, open-world games, and even story-focused games, I think you need to keep an eye out for this one, cause I have a hunch the game will be big, but we have no idea when it's coming out, and neither the platforms, but probably Windows, Xbox Series X and S, and PlayStation 5.
All of the men in this room are bound by blood.
Mafia the Old Country is the new episode of the acclaimed series, now developed by the Hangar 13 studio, the same studio responsible for Mafia 3, that wasn't as good as the two first games, but also responsible for the remake of the first game, that is loved by everyone, so I believe they're going to do a great job here, cause it looks great.
Do you wish to commit? Repeat these words. I swear my loyalty.
The game will be set before of the first game, in the year 1900, and will be kinda similar to the first two games, that were not a totally open world, but with some open world moments in the story. We'll need to wait until some moment of 2025 to play the game, as it's coming out to PC, PS5, and Xbox Series X and S.
If I do not keep my oath,
a powerful being falls from the sky.
Lost Soul Aside is a new hack-and-slash game with a fast-paced gameplay inspired in Devil May Cry and Final Fantasy XV, and the game is being developed by the studio Ulti Zero Games.
Is this really just a dream?
It's being developed in Unreal Engine, and in the gameplays and trailers it looks really interesting, with a fast and unique combat system, with good mechanics, great enemies and bosses, so if you like hack-and-slash games you should keep an eye out for it.
I see great power within you, a destiny.
The game is coming out in May 30th, 2025, and is coming out to PlayStation 5 and Microsoft Windows.
The blade in your hand. Never wanted to be a hero, but for humanity.
Hey, Diane! A little help here! Look out! Up you go! What are you doing?
Pragmata is a curious upcoming game. It promises to be a game with an immersive story and universe, with beautiful and realistic graphics and a unique style. The game is being developed by Capcom and was supposed to be released some years ago already, but was postponed and now we have no idea when it's really coming out. But it'll be released on Xbox Series X and S, PlayStation 5 and PC.
Still got a ways to go.
Ballad of Antara is an upcoming fantasy action RPG set in a fanciful and magical world with a fast-paced and fluid combat style, and is being developed by Tipsworks Studio.
Vanished into the mist.
Why do we have to bear the consequences of such power?
Time.
I pray for their grace.
Embark on a perilous journey, seek out colossal divine creatures and recover lost and distorted essences, set in a sort of open land, with challenging enemies and powerful bosses. The game will be a single player, but you can also play in co-op, so for those who likes to play with friends, this one looks very good, and it's coming out in some moment of 2025 to PlayStation 5 and Microsoft Windows.
This desolate place needs a sprinkle of madness.
Colonel, tighten the security on this place. He's coming here, I'm sure of it.
Metal Gear Solid Delta Snake Eater is the remake of one of the most acclaimed Metal Gear's games. The remake is being developed by Konami, and if they make a remake as good as Silent Hill 2 remake, it'll be insane. If you never played Metal Gear before, know that it's a stealth game, but not just this, it's a very original and unique game with a crazy plot and mechanics of the original game nobody even believed was possible when the game was released.
We are the sons of the boss!
I see it! The fear!
A great and terrible fury at being alive. And you are one of them.
But we'll need to wait to see if the remake will really be good, but let's hope it is, and the game is coming out on August 28, 2025 for Xbox Series X and S, PS5 and PC.
Still think I can do this, stop us.
always comes back to this.
Saros is a new game developed by the studio of Returnal, the studio housemarque. The game is going to be a 3D roguelike, just like Returnal was. In the first trailer we can't see much of the game, but the graphics looks really good.
Every time the sun dies, madness reigns.
If you played Returnal, you know that it's a fast and fluid game with a lot of possibilities and enemies, and set in that style known as bullet hell. And this one promises to follow the same style. Despite we didn't see any gameplay yet, in the end of the trailer we can see in the eye of the character a lot of bullets coming in his direction, making it clear that it'll be a bullet hell game style. The game is coming out to PS5 only in 2026. That's it guys, I really hope you enjoyed. Don't forget to like the video and subscribe, and also leave your comments saying your favorite in the list. I'll really appreciate that. Thank you so much, and so long.